to the interactive segment, and Marantur is here. Hey, what's up?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm trying to be posh. Hey, what's up? How are you? Hey.
That is posh?
Yeah.
Really? That's very American.
What's trending? I better not start justifying whether it's posh or it's not posh, really.
Me, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's trending?
Well, it's the same
Forum.
that, yes, the National Economic Forum. And GN Interactive is actually looking at the boycott. The, you know, NPP boycott. And every time a new government comes, the opposition, which is supposed to actually help and be the voice, perhaps, of putting them in check, goes to sleep. And all they keep doing is playing blame games. When I'm in power, I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah.
When I'm not in power, I'll lay low. When I talk, someone says, you didn't say it right, you didn't do this.
And people are talking about it.
Exactly. Everything they're talking about, they have the right to say it. To say that, oh, look, I'm coming to a forum. You sent me an invitation on Friday for a forum on Tuesday, where ideally, perhaps, I should have received it earlier. So they're talking, they have every right to say what they want to say. Government has a right to say what they want to say.
And unfortunately, my telephone crashed, so I might not be able to send you a tweet.
As always.
Yeah, but I will try my best next time.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
You're the weakest link.
Right, so let's hear what you are.
Wherever you are, welcome to another GN Interactive. My name is Marantur. So, welcome. It is trending, and so we're talking about it. But you know that this show thrives on your comments. So, it allows all the social media tools that you need to get in touch with the show. You'll find us on facebook.com/joynews-on-TV. Like our page, we have lots and lots of posts there. Comment on them, we'll share them, we'll amplify your voice with the rest of the world. We are on Twitter. 3 Twitter handles, @GN Interactive, GH, @JoyNewsOnTV, and @MNTure. 3 handles ready for you to send in your tweets. I'll retweet and share it with the rest of the world. Join News IM at mototvworld.com will be an email address to send all your mails to, and our WhatsApp number still remains 05401090009. And GN Interactive, as you already know, is where tech meets news to set the agenda. So today marks the beginning of the National Economic Forum, aimed at achieving consensus on policies, strategies, and measures to accelerate Ghana's transition from a lower middle-income nation to an upper middle-income economy. But the opposition New Patriotic Party has boycotted the forum, calling it, in quotes, mere public relations gimmick, accusing the government of bad faith in the lead-up to the forum. Paula Foko addressed a news conference yesterday. Let's take a listen to that in our first video blog.
On several occasions, the NPP minority in Parliament, economic experts and other key figures in our party have consistently and relentlessly offered suggestions as to how to arrest our ailing economy. Unfortunately, the Mahama-led administration has treated these suggestions with contempt, and spokespersons for the government have poured scorn on them. The evidence is there to see. Last Friday, the NPP received an invitation from the seat of government to be part of a National Economic Forum that is scheduled to begin on the 12th of May 2014. The letter, signed by the Executive Secretary to the President, was dated the 2nd of May 2014. You will note that in spite of the short distance between the Jubilee House and the NPP party headquarters, it took more than a week for the letter to be hand-delivered. This shows a lack of seriousness on the part of the government towards this very important national exercise. How can the government call stakeholders to such an important forum at such short notice and expect any meaningful contribution in this national discourse? This is a clear manifestation that the government is just being disingenuous, and that the supposed National Economic Forum is really intended to be a PR gimmick, calculated to keep the people of Ghana in the dark about the real state of the economy. As we speak to you now, we are still unaware of the base document and the content thereof to be used at the forum. Article 55(3) of our national constitution provides, and I quote, "A political party is free to participate in shaping the political will of the people, to disseminate information on political ideas, social and economic programs of a national character," unquote. Pursuant to this, if a party is invited to a national economic forum, properly so called, the party must prepare itself adequately to make a meaningful impact. Why is this government comfortable in sharing details of its economic plans with the IMF, while at the same time hiding such plans from Ghanaians? In principle, we in the new Patriotic Party are not against a national economic forum. However, in its present form, it offers us no opportunity to significantly engage in the process. In this regard, and for the avoidance of doubt, the NPP solemnly declares that the party will not be part of any incongruous.
So that is what he's explained there. And he also said that the NPP was committed to consensus building and partnership in national development, but would not be part of a deliberate propaganda and PR gimmick. The party leveled some accusations against the ruling party. So let's take a listen to that also.
Information available to us suggests that the NDC government has already adopted a set of reforms between 2014 and 2017, which includes the retrenchment of workers, and has communicated same in its policy document to the IMF titled Economic and Financial Policies for the Medium Term, and this was dated the 14th of April 2014. This document contains what the government describes as homegrown policies and was formally submitted to the IMF during the recent spring meetings in Washington, D.C. The question is, if the government has already adopted a set of policies and has already submitted to the IMF, what is the purpose of convening a national economic forum to deliberate on what to do? Ghanaians are aware that Parliament has recently approved a $30 million facility which has a grant component of $10 million from the World Bank for capacity building of the Ghana Statistical Service. That capacity building is to lead to the retrenchment of 300 staff of the Statistical Service. This forms part of the general agreement that government of Ghana has with the World Bank and IMF to, as they describe it euphemistically, right side.
So the forum has started. It actually started today, and our cameras caught up with some of the attendees to ask about their expectations for the economic forum. Let's take a listen to them.
I want to listen to what they are going to present, because if you look at what we are seeing here, they are going to talk about the current state of the economy. Well, I want to know how the Minister of Finance will be truthful to the Ghanaian economy as to what really the current state of the economy is. We'll also be hearing from the Bank of Ghana, the Governor for the Monetary and External Sector Development, that he'll be talking about, and then the NDPC chairman will also be talking about the agenda for national development. You see, we all talk about the national agenda, right? But where is the national economic policy?
Do we need as a country to continue subsidies, or as a country do we feel that it's better we utilize the money we use for subsidy for economic investment and transformation? Those are broad issues. Those are just segments of issues that clearly are going to come up.
This is one that is completely different. This is one that invites basically the cross-section, of people from the country. It invites very eminent, very professional, very experienced people who have been finance ministers before, held various portfolios in the country, and are here to basically help us charter, what I would say a direction going forward in the future.
But President Mahama has reacted to the absence of the opposition New Patriotic Party at his administration's first National Economic Forum, calling one of their reasons for the boycott as extremely polluted and partisan political environment. And the NPP said the documents to be discussed have already been submitted to the IMF for consideration, but the president has actually provided further explanation on the documents at the IMF, saying that it is still work in progress, and so he has chastened them, for their decision not to come, and said simply that, it's a misunderstanding of what those documents forwarded to the IMF government really is, so Ghana has not signed any deal with the IMF yet, and so if that's what the NPP is thinking about, then that's not it. But I have on the phone line Ghanaian broadcaster and entrepreneur Kojo Okonkrumah on the line. He was actually at the forum today, and he will be joining us. Apparently, we are trying to reach him again. The line was terrible at the time, so that we can speak to him and ask him a few questions about what really went down at the forum today, seeing that he had a bird's-eye view of everything that was happening. Hello, Kojo. Good evening, and welcome to JN Interactive.
Good evening, man. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you too?
I'm very well.
We know economics like Kwame Mpianim, who is actually a card-bearing member of the NPP, was at the forum. Were there any other such people present?
From where I sat, I did not see any other such persons present.
Okay. But were you able to interact with him to ask whether he was there in his personal capacity as an economist or what?
No, but reading from the brochures that were passed around, he was not described in any other capacity other than the fact that he was an economist, and therefore I'm tempted to believe that that was a capacity in which he was there. He was there,
okay. But, despite many attempts to curtail a really ballooning public debt, and a depreciating CD, record high inflation, Ghana's economy continues to slump, in performance. As an entrepreneur, do you really have any hope that this forum will change our economic fortunes, or is just another talk shop?
If it is to the extent that the policy prescriptions that could come up will actually be implemented, then I would have hope. But I think this morning, as we engaged with some of the actors, one of the things I was asking is, what is the learning from the very first National Economic Forum that took place around 1998 during the Rawlings administration? How about the other two that took place during the Kufuor era? What is the framework within which we dovetail the recommendations into our economic development plans? Because, as you and I speak this evening, Ghana has a current 2014 budget that we're operating.
Right.
Apart from that budget, we have a medium-term economic recovery program. That's what the finance minister presented to Parliament and shared with the IMF, which has been the subject of debate now.
Right.
And then we also have the Ghana Shared Growth and Development Strategy Paper 2, GSGD 2, which came out quite recently. There's about 3 different programs we are running at the same time. So where do the recommendations from these conversations that are taking place in Senchi fit into our development agenda? So if we can identify where it really fits in, then you have some conviction that things will get better. Because the things that trouble entrepreneurs and people in business are the same. Energy is not reliable, and even where you have it, the cost is going up. It makes it difficult for you to budget and to price your products when you are competing with people from China and Nigeria and everywhere else. Infrastructure like roads on which you have to move your products give you a big headache. You are traveling from Asamankesi to Adeso, and it's a terrible piece of road. So if you are doing business somewhere there, if you have a an agro-processing plant there, it affects your business because your costs will go up in terms of spares, for vehicle, turnaround times. Simple things like even telecommunications. My office is in East Legon. When the lights go off, the internet automatically goes off because the service provider there is running on some system that is connected to the electricity grid. When the lights go off, it goes off. All of these things go to affect business. The CD is depreciating against the dollar. It is bringing its own imported inflation. So there are all sort of problems. But if the prescriptions that will come up will only find space in a development agenda, then that's fine. But if there's no way it's going to find space, if it's just going to be a talk shop because all of the programs are already available and people are just talking for an academic exercise, then it really won't amount to much.
Right. But as a broadcaster, you were actually in Dar es Salaam in 2010 to cover the World Economic Forum there. This is our National Economic Forum. I want you to compare the two for us. They had a document, actually, where you would see all the speakers for the day, the times that they were going to talk. And so as let's say, a journalist, for me per se, if I needed to speak to somebody who was going to speak on technology, I needed not to waste time to go on day 1 because I knew that the person who was going to speak on technology may appear on day 4. Do you have anything like that? Do you have any documents like that to tell you that this is the person who's going to speak? Compare the two and tell us your assessment of the two.
I had a privilege of attending the World Economic Forum in Africa, I think in 2009 and 2010 and 2011 or so.
Yeah.
About 3 different times.
Right.
And the World Economic Forum is organized by Professor Klaus Schwab and a few other people at the World Economic Forum. And they do a diligent job at organization. So you know who is coming, when he's coming, just like how you mentioned. In fact, you have room to book meetings with some of these people and book interviews. If you're a journalist, and if you watch some of the tapes we brought back from Tanzania, we were able to book interviews with people. We even had a Ghana summit. We had a Ghana summit where we had Dr. Opia Mwabing and other Ghanaian entrepreneurs who had gone, sit down for that summit. This morning, Dr. Kwesi Boche, for instance, considered that it's been difficult putting everything together, and therefore they have not had the luxury to make all of these elaborate arrangements. I will hope that in the near future, as we do a bit more of this, and I think there's something that should continue maybe every other year, every 2 years we should be having something like this. I think as we do more of them, the planning should get better. Most importantly, the engagement behind the scenes. If you want consensus, you don't write a letter and send it to somebody and say, if he didn't come because of some reason, then he's a bad guy. If you want consensus in other parts of the world, they will dispatch somebody to go and meet somebody and have a chat with him, even before the formal letter goes. So the behind-the-scenes engagement, I think, in the future can improve so that we get everybody around the table. We get some more depth of ideas, and most importantly, I come back to that point, we get some clarity on how these ideas dovetail or how they inform the economic planning agenda of the country. Else, then it's a waste of time and money.
But before you go, though, I have a very funny, a lighter question for you. The environment, the scenery, so picturesque, water flowing all over, the climate is very cool. Do you think all of these conditions will come together, to give us, to make the deliberations maybe finer for us this year?
Well, the deliberations are taking place in rooms and under, marquees. So I don't know how the trees and, whether they affect it. But just maybe outside Accra when the noise is down and all, people can pay some more attention. But these days, because of technology, everybody on the, is still either on the phone or here. So I don't know. At the end of the day, we'll see what sort of communique, comes out of the various sessions. Okay.
Thank you very much, Kojo, for those insights. Really, really grateful for your time here.
Thank you, Marian.
And that was Kojo Opong Nkrumah, broadcaster and entrepreneur, who was actually at the first day of this national forum at, the location where it took place, and he's actually sharing with us what he thought about everything that had happened so far. And I'm sure you can glean from everything he has said so far that everything is not quite as it ought to be. And so on the way forward, perhaps planning especially would take place more, would engage people more, not think that you sent a letter and it's enough just for the person to show up at the event, and that you would actually follow up. A lot of comments have been dropping in on social media. We posted this earlier on. I'll take some Facebook comments and then we can wrap up for today. And this post is actually in relation to the President's defense of why the NPP did not show up, and the NPP's reason for saying that the document had already been taken to the IMF, so they didn't want to be a part of something that had already been done. Comments have been dropping in on that one. And Bra Kojo just says, don't forget he's a good PR manager. So you're thinking the president's a good PR manager, so that is what it is. King Farouk Adam, Mr. President, check economic difficulties and stop making noise. J. Banks says, really, what's the reason of the Economic Forum when the needed solutions have been provided by Dr. Bawumia? Is the President and his Finance Minister's statement not contradictory about the whole IMF issue? Do you even know what this IMF thing is all about? Please, Mr. President, try reading John Penkin's Confession of an Economic Hitman. You would know you're doing us more harm than good. King Farouk again says, the school has resumed and I'm going back to the boarding house. Ask me the price of needle. Now 17 Ghana cedis. I used to buy it for 7 Ghana cedis. You are there saying quality education. Inusa Al-Hassan says, it's unfortunate and regrettable for the NPP not to take in this forum. We should all remember as Ghanaians that nobody can solve our problems for, I'm thinking you're saying for us there. Seniors, Akon Klaus, quality education, where is it, Mr. President? Propaganda governance. See your face now. I see your face now. What? That is supposed to be you. People, sometimes I love to love you and I love to hate you too. It's amazing. Senior, come again. Did you listen to Bawumia's advice? Mohammed says, J. Banks, is Bawumia the only economist? I'm sure you're answering somebody. And Abotiyeri says, I salute the president. That's where two good heads to sit and come out with possible solutions, address the current economic challenges. The so-called economists think they are knowing, all-knowing, refuse to attend. Bookish economists, no wonder they are capitalists. Okay, I think I'll skip that. Yakubu says, well, why all these problems? In fact, let's go and wake Nkrumah up because Ghana be hot. Alifa Al-Hassan, I support your speech, King Farouk. Okay, you guys are busy answering each other. Jonathan Arthur, what is the president telling Ghanaians when a coup or document is already with the IMF? I do say Poku, just as they manipulated to win the elections, they should manipulate to fix the economy. Bernard says, very well, President. Isaac, on every post, but never saw this on Ghana Phone. Okay, I don't know which one this is. Anna Nick Jacob, the problem of the economy begins from how the election was won. Anani again, I think I'll skip that and give people another chance. Wumpini, it's sad, another talk forum has been started. That is not the panacea to our problems, but the action is most needed. So stop the fora and implement the solutions, which is this already. I hear Mezi Felix, the problem, the people who were being invited to Economic Forum to decide on behalf of 25 million are not the only knowledgeable people in the country. I believe that when it comes to economic matters, everybody should make an input into the discussion. Kennedy, Mwako Kennedy says, what is this National Economic Forum for? Duncan Williams prayed for the city to rise, so we would wait. Naughty, naughty. Bethel says NPP is always giving false information about the economy. Final one before we go. Desiree or Desire, I love my party. We won't attend the bogus economic forum. Okay, I'll drop it there. Stephen T is back, so we can wrap up. But thank you so much for your comments and thank you for keeping GN Interactive very interactive. He's back.
Yes, I'm back.
And you didn't send a comment, so don't play with
No,
your phone.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I couldn't send. My phone crashed.
Good. But it's
everything is not working.
Okay.
The tariff is up. Okay. Anyways, that's it for Johnny's Interactive and
today's big story.
My name is Stephen Anti.
And my name is Marian Toure. Enjoy the rest of our program.
And up next is Johnny's exclusive. And then Israelite will come with the news at 8. Stay with us.
Good evening.
Good evening.